What's up, everybody, and welcome on back to the episode of the My Side of Things podcast. This is now episode 37. I'm your host, as always, Ash. We got a whole lot of things in the docket to get to today, including talking about all the major things that did happen at All In this weekend. And was this an all-time classic pay-per-view, or was this a bit of a flop? We also got to talk about Evolution and what is going to be the outcome from this absolutely awesome Elite pay-per-view. One of the best pay-per-views of all time. I know I'm already glazing it, but trust me, we're going to do a whole lot of two-hand glazing. But what is going to happen forward going with the women, and is this another revolution of sorts for them? We also got to talk about Seth Rollins' major injury that happened at Saturday night's main event. We also got to talk about giving Jon Moxley his flowers and Rhea Ripley, and if she's being given too much flowers. But before we do get into all that stuff, though, we're listening to it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts at. Like, follow, share, rate, subscribe, comment, whatever you can do to help the podcast out. If you're one of the Patreon subs, definitely appreciate y'all so much. You're definitely helping the content out in so many different ways that you wouldn't even know that you're helping the content out. But without further ado, though, let's go ahead and jump on into the first topic of the day, which is talking about All In and all the major things that did happen here. Now, going into this, y'all know how I felt about it. I had felt like this was some of the best build-up that I had seen in genuinely a long time. Like, this was build-up from top to bottom. Every single major match, really just every single match in general that was happening on this card was being built up in a really great way, probably besides like the Women's Casino Gauntlet. But other than that, every other match had just absolutely awesome build-up, whether it be the Men's Casino Gauntlet, whether it be Kyle Fletcher, Adam Cole, whether it be Moxley, Hangman, Mercedes, Tony, Omega, Okada, the Ops, and Death Riders even had pretty good build-up as well. Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland versus the Young Bucks. Every other match had awesome build-up. And then it's just like one domino after another just happened. Adam Cole gets announced that he won't be able to be in the match because he has some undisclosed injury. And then it gets announced that we're getting a fatal four-way for some odd reason, even though we did not need the fatal four-way. There was no build-up to the fatal four-way. Kyle Fletcher literally had a 1v1 match where he did not want to be, because he didn't want to be in a triple threat, and now it gets added to a fatal four-way, and the guy he just beat gets added to the dang fatal four-way. Two other guys, and Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, get added to this match, and it literally just makes no dang sense at all as to why either one of them are in the match. You could have had Anthony Bowens in the match. You could have had Ricochet in the match. You could have had them pulling double duty if you really wanted to. Like, nothing. You don't have any of these guys in the match, yet you have the Sons of Texas pulling triple duty with a Ring of Honor Supercard match, with a pre-show match, and then they also get an All-In match. Like, my goodness, Tony Khan, good job showing who your favorites are in the company. Like, even if you wanted Dustin Rhodes in the match, why did Sammy have to be in the match? You could have had literally anybody else in that dang match. So it's just like that happened, and then we get to the show, and it's like, you're thinking, okay, let's see, you have Omega, Okada, you have Mercedes, Tony, you're probably gonna have Hangman and Moxley main event. That's cool. You got Ospreay and Swerve versus the Young Bucks. You have the Men's Casino Gauntlet, you have the Women's Casino Gauntlet. One of these are probably gonna open up the show, but then you go with the Ops versus the Death Riders, and it's like, okay, maybe you have some like really big things happen during this match. But then nothing happens during this match. Like, not until the end of it, where Samoa Joe gets taken out, and so does Powerhouse Hobbs. But it's like, nothing happens during the match. There's no big spots. There's no brawl between the two teams that really was like, just going all around the ring. Nothing to really pump the crowd up. Mind you, the crowd was already pretty much dead to begin with. Like, they just did not care about the show at all from the beginning. They really just cared about the Joe, and that was it. Like, once the match started, them boys, heck, before even they came out, when the Death Riders came out, nobody cared. No boos, no nothing at all in the slightest. So it's like, you would think you would want to get the crowd, pumped up, but you don't do that, so that sucks. So it's like, all right, whatever. And then that match was just bland and boring, and you started off the night with a bland, boring match that ended up in a Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs getting taken out even though they won the match, which is like, okay, I guess. I mean, wouldn't you have been able to, like, wouldn't you have had to beat the guys that bad that they weren't able to attack you afterwards? But I don't really get it, 'cause like the last time they beat the Death Riders, they had to like beat them really, really bad, and it's like, well, why the heck did you go from that to this? Like, it felt like the Kofi Kingston Brock Lesnar match, where the first time they had the match, it was 3 minutes long, and the second time they had the match, it's like 6 seconds long, and it's like, well, how the heck did he, go 3 minutes against Brock without the title, but then against Brock with the title, he goes 6 seconds. It's like, what, huh? Like, why did I don't know why AEW made that choice. I'm going to be real with you. That was a really bad way to start the night off. So then you go into the Men's Casino Gauntlet, and once again, it's a match that just does not have anything in it. You know, AEW is known for their big spots. They like to do a lot of the indie style, New Japan style of wrestling, much different. Like, not so much different than WWE, but they do rely on spots just a bit more to really get the crowd going. This match has none of that. It has literally none of that at all. The biggest thing this match had was Juice Robinson and Austin Colton Gunn returning, but that was really just to help out Juice Robinson against Ricochet in the Gates of Agony. So it's like, okay, so you don't really have much happening during this match other than just rehash things of Konosuke Takeshita and Bandito doing their little standoff with each other, which, I mean, okay, but they just had their match yesterday, so why are we rehashing the standoff? I thought the feud was done. Is the feud not done? Who the heck knows? Then you have MJF and Mystico have a standoff again, even though we continue to do this feud that has literally nothing to it at all. And it's just like, what the heck is the point of this feud to begin with? So it's just like that match had literally no energy at all. A really good ending, but just no energy at all. And then we go into Adam Cole's speech that just makes everybody super depressed. So, okay, the crowd's already dead for 2 straight matches. Now they have to be super depressed. And then you go into this fatal 4-way, which once again has no spots, no nothing, no flashing, nothing at all. Zero. And then the guy to come out on top is the 60-year-old that's already holding a Ring of Honor's tag title and a Ring of Honor trio title, now holding a TNT title. So he's a Triple Crown champion. For those of y'all that are trying to say Triple Crown champion is only for the same promotion, we're not doing all this. No, we're not doing this. Y'all gonna stop doing this weird thing where y'all like to try to try to be like super like just technical about things. No, he's a Triple Crown champion, okay? The guy has 3 different belts, and 2 of them are from the same company. Mind you, 2 of them he's literally been doing nothing with these belts at all, but, you know, just literally not putting anybody over at all for an entire year. Mind you, again, 60 years old, basically. The guy's 56, but he's basically like 60 years old, rounded up. Been doing nothing with these dang belts. No big feuds, nothing like that. Now he's getting a TNT belt, and it's like, well, if you wanted, like, you know, somebody from, like, you know, Texas to get the belt, Sammy Guevara is literally right there. He's literally right there. I don't even like Sammy Guevara at all. Y'all already know how I feel about Sammy. If you wanted a face to get the belt, Daniel Garcia is right there. Quite literally right there. Like, the plan was never for Kyle Fletcher to get the belt, at least not at all in, because, you know, you're going to extend the Adam Cole feud or whatever, cool. Or if, you know, you wanted to now, well, yeah, if you're going to extend the Adam Cole feud, cool. Now it's like you put it on Dustin instead of Kyle, which would give big time heat, especially if we took out Dustin in the match. I don't get that at all, but okay, whatever. Also, I do really hope that Adam Cole isn't, you know, I hope it's not anything like too serious. I hope that he's able to eventually come back. If he does choose to come back, obviously. If he doesn't want to come back, perfectly fine on him as well. I just hope the best for him going forward. That is like really an amazing wrestler, and he seemed like a really dang good person as well. Gonna be one of those big what ifs that we gotta talk about going forward too. In about a couple years, if he does have to sadly retire, him, Big E, Edge was almost one of those big what ifs as well. So, well, we kind of see a lot of Edge though, but there was definitely at least like a good 5 to 6 more years that he could have given at like an elite level that we probably got robbed of. Heck, even CM Punk kind of sort of is a what if as well, because what could have happened from 2014 to possibly like to 2025. Would he ever went to AEW? Would he went to AEW earlier? Like, what the heck would have happened? Or how would a WWE career played out? So another big what if as well. But to get back to All In, so we start off the night with 3 pretty much just boring matches, and then one decision that really just made no sense. And if you're a person that's still defending Dustin Rhodes getting this title, I hope you're not also a person that's mad at Mercedes Moné winning multiple titles. I really, really hope you're not, because if you are, you need to take a long look at yourself. I don't want to hear anything about being a legend, because Mercedes Moné is a legend as well. If you feel she's not a legend, you need to take a long look at yourself as well. She's a legend. He's a legend. They're both legends. If he can if he can hold 3 belts currently and not really do much to put anybody on over, so can she as well. I don't really want to hear, you know, like one could do something, one can't do something. It's just you're showing a lot of how you truly feel about, you know, folks, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's a little, if you're okay with Dustin but mad at Mercedes, you can either say misogyny or racism. Insert either one for you. Go ahead and just wear it proudly. So you start off the night with those 3 just awful matches, though, and it really just has no energy in the crowd. Then we get onto Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, and you have the cool entrances with Will Ospreay, and then you go to Swerve's entrance where it's like, mind you, I understand completely that this was his indie entrance, but there's nothing from the crowd. The crowd doesn't know what the heck it is. The crowd just sees a woman singing in fireflies. Why not, if you're going to do this, why not have done this before? So at least like the crowd is like aware, like, oh, this is Swerve's entrance. Again, I think AEW is of the belief that everybody, or at least a large portion of its fandom, is going to know everything about these wrestlers outside of the company, because they're really, really trying to hammer home that, they're like the company where we're not going to forget your history at all. And it's like, I didn't know what the heck that was. I did not know what that was for Swerve Strickland. I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to just sit here and act like, oh, I know Swerve's indie music. No, I don't know Swerve's indie music. Sorry, I ain't been watching Swerve Strickland that dang long. So it's like, okay, I don't know what the heck this is. And then it's like, well, you just did that, but then went into his song. Why didn't you just have Swerve Strickland come out to his entrance? That didn't, not his current entrance, but just have him come out to his indie entrance. Why is JoJo just singing the song, and that's it? It felt like a little halftime show. Like what the heck was that? Then to follow that up, mind you, the crowd was just completely dead when Swerve came out. They were completely dead. They weren't really singing to the song, dancing to the song, nothing, because they were confused about what the heck just happened before. Then you have the Young Bucks come out. And my God, they took at least, if I did not look back at the number, but I'm going to guess at the very bare minimum, 7 to 8 minutes. You should have read the room with the crowd. They were very much so not a wrestling crowd at all. This is Arlington, Texas. I'm sorry to, rip. I'm not really sorry to rip on Arlington. Y'all are Cowboy fans. This is the Cowboys crowd. That crowd sucks. They are mostly dead most of the time, especially coming off this past season too. They are a pretty much dead crowd. That crowd is absolutely horrible. I think that they're the worst crowd in football. I'm going to be real with you. The fans are super diehard, but that crowd sucks. It is awful. I've been there before. Trust me, I know from firsthand experience. I went there during an Eagles game. You would think they'd be pretty loud then. Even then, they weren't actually that loud. And any other games, they are just if it's a rivalry game, sure, but any other game, they just don't really care. So it's like, you have a dead crowd, and you continue to do these super long entrances that are clearly just not working. I would have scrapped the Young Bucks one. I would have said, you know what, just go ahead and get on in the ring. Let's go ahead and put on an amazing match, which at the beginning of the match, it was very much so slow. It was very much so slow because of the fact that the crowd was not into it. The crowd was not into the show yet. They were not caring at all. Then they finally got into it because they're like, oh, we're watching Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland versus the Young Bucks. We're watching 2 of the best wrestlers on the planet right now, plus one of the best tag teams on the planet right now. We should be into this. And they finally get into this. And this is where the rest of the show is just really, really dang good. People are actually into the dang show. Again, I feel like this match probably should have kicked the night off. I would have done the Adam Cole speech and then done Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland versus the Young Bucks. I think that would have been really dang good because these guys can all put on an absolutely phenomenal match that's going to get everybody out of their seats. I don't know if Tony Khan just didn't want to flip it last second or what. You could have easily just flipped that match and the Ops match. You could have easily just flipped those 2 matches. I don't know why he didn't want to do that. I think it would have been a lot better. Maybe he felt like as if, going into his later matches that he really needed that big pop from the Will Ospreay Swerve Strickland match. I don't know if that's the case. If that is the case, cool, I guess. But I don't know. I think that's just not the greatest. I think you could have even extended. You already had a 6-hour show. You might as well just extended one of these matches. You could have easily just, if you would have cut the Young Bucks entrance, you easily could have given an extra 7 minutes to the Ops Death Riders match where they could have done some crazy things and all that and really just went super dang crazy with it. We know that refs have leniency anyways. They could have got the chairs and all that stuff and started going real at each other, but you didn't do that, so that match just didn't have any kind of real payoff at all. Mind you, they're going to be running that match back, I guess. Well, no, Samoa Joe's not going to be there, but it's going to be Hangman, Mark Briscoe. For some odd reason, again, Mark Briscoe is being involved in this, but okay. Hangman, Mark Briscoe, and Powerhouse Hobbs, who apparently he's not out, but Samoa Joe's out. Oh, okay, I guess. Versus Moxley, Claudia, and I think either Gabe Kidd or Willa Yuta, one of the two, but they're going to be running back that match. I personally don't get why, but okay, I guess, whatever. I'm assuming it is going to lead to Blood and Guts, probably where MJF will end up cashing in as well. If that's the case, cool, I guess. I'm just kind of all Hangman Moxley out of it. Well, I'm kind of just like Hangman Death Riders out at this point. I don't really, like, you had, like, your big, like, payoff at All In. I feel like that's where you should have just ended, not, getting another. Like, Hangman and Moxley literally should not be having a match on Wednesday. They just had a crazy death match on Saturday. It makes no sense. But whatever. But then we go into what would happen next, which was it the Fatal 4-Way? I think it was. Actually, I want to go back to that Dustin Rhodes thing real quick, too, because another thing that I don't really like about Dustin Rhodes right now is that a lot of people told me that he's going to be putting over Sammy Guevara. Well, when is this happening? Because they've been a tag team for like 2 years now. They've been a tag team for 2 years, and he's done nothing for Sammy at all other than get a Ring of Honor's tag title onto him. That's literally it. Literally. What has he done for the Von Erichs? Nothing at all. Still nobody cares about this group at all unless you live in Texas. That is it. So, like, he's not really building anybody up. He's not helping anybody out. Maybe he's a great backstage. Maybe he's like a great locker room guy, but that's it. That's literally it. So you're going to give him all these titles because he's a great locker room guy? No, this once again feels like Tony Khan just being way too infatuated with WWE wrestlers and wanting to give them just as much as they possibly can, as much as he possibly can while they're in AEW because they deserve it, because WWE didn't want to give it to him, which I guarantee you that means that Shelton Benjamin will be getting a world title at some point, which I'm not even mad at, by the way. Not mad at it, but I got to keep the same energy. I don't want to see anybody that's 50 plus winning titles. I mean, like, at least winning, titles that, like, I don't want to see them winning titles that other people should be holding. I think the Hurt Syndicate are doing really good for the tag division to kind of, getting it ramped up, especially if Private Party were going to be leaving AEW. You had nobody else to put those damn titles on. So it's like, I'm happy that they, are at least doing great things and they're trying to put people over. Dustin Rhodes isn't, but whatever. So let's talk about this Women's Casino Gauntlet match, which in my opinion was the highlight of the night. I thought that this was the best moment of the night. Women's wrestling just took an absolute W this weekend. It was so dang awesome. Every single women's match this week was just elite as hell. This one right here was no doubt elite either. We got to see the return of Harley Cameron and his pink cat mask. We also seen the debuts of Shuri, which I did mispronounce Sayuri last time. It's Shuri. We also seen the debut of Alex Windsor as well. I called both of those. I'm so happy that I did. And I think they were even back to back too. If not, I think they were like in between, like one or two in between. But we got to see the debut of both of them. They looked absolutely phenomenal in AEW. I can't wait to see them going forward this year, what's going to be happening with them. Really upset that we still did not get any kind of women's tag thing, seeing as how Penelope Ford wasn't in the gauntlet, Anna Jay wasn't in the gauntlet. I think Sky Blue wasn't in the gauntlet either, so I don't understand why the heck we didn't have them in the gauntlet. Meaning, mind you, we had like 10, 11 women in the gauntlet. Couldn't we just had all of them be in the gauntlet as well? I don't really get the point of not having them in there. But whatever. But we did get to see Athena win the gauntlet, which I'm super happy about. Also, MJF did win the gauntlet as well. I'm happy about both of those. I had Athena as the gauntlet winner before until my guy talked me out of it. But you know what? I'm happy that I did pick Athena anyways. I'm hoping that Athena does cash in possibly tonight. If she does cash in, that'd be really dang cool. If not, cash in down the line, like I said. Have her focus on the AEW world title so much to the point that she loses the Ring of Honor world title after 1,000 days, because Athena definitely does deserve her 1,000 days, as she's been the face of Ring of Honor for a very good amount of time now and been backpacking Ring of Honor. She's only, like 50-something days away, if not even like 40-something days away. Just give her the 1,000 days, allow her to then go past 1,000, probably like a couple days afterwards, maybe even like the next, like whatever like the next Ring of Honor is after her 1,000th day as champion, and then have her lose it there, and then go on to cash in the the Casino Gauntlet win on Toni Storm whenever, probably like sometime in September, maybe before All Out, because then you could run Athena versus Toni Storm again at All Out if you really want to, or you could even run Athena, Toni Storm, Mercedes at All Out if you want to do that as well, because Nowadays, you don't even have to earn title matches. You're just given title matches. So you might as well just give Mercedes another title match because why not, man? Nobody earns title matches really anymore, man. For the most part, everybody's just walking out and saying, I want the match. And it's just like, oh, okay, sure. There you go. Go ahead and just sign the contracts. There you go right there. Boom, stamped. You are the next challenger for the championship. So yeah, I don't really know. And as far as MJF, I would say probably cash in at Blood and Guts if that match does end up happening, seeing as how you didn't cash in on Hangman and Moxley after their death match, even though it would have made the most sense. So probably Blood and Guts. If not Blood and Guts, then probably Wrestle Dream or Full Gear. But you probably want to do Wrestle Dream so you can have their second match at Full Gear, so you can run back MJF and Hangman. So yeah, I probably would do that. Next up, though, we had that tag team match, which is absolutely awesome. Hurt Syndicate coming on out, destroying the Patriarchy and Jet Speed even before the match even started. I thought it was going to end up being like a regular triple threat match, but it decided to be, one of those like 1v1s where you could tag anybody or like the other team could tag themselves in and all that. It's fine. There was a moment where Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin was on the wrong side of the ring, were able to tag in. I didn't fully get that, and that might have just been like a mistake on their part, though. Whatever. It's not that big of an issue. The match was just absolutely awesome, though. And again, the matches continued to be more and more better as the night went on. Then we had the big moment during the match where you had FTR on commentary. Thankfully, they were not that annoying, by the way, which I'm super happy about because I was really not trying to hear them on commentary. I'll hear Stokely, but I don't want to hear Dax and Cash on the mic ever. But they were at least competent enough to not be annoying. So, they eventually end up getting involved in the match, though, because of the fact that the Hurt Syndicate threw Christian Cage into them. They start kind of going at Hurt Syndicate as well, but they kind of back down too. And then, they start going after the Patriarchy a little bit. And then the big moment comes where the Hurt Syndicate would get the win. They're walking out of the ring. Jet Spear leaving the ring. FTR is about to take down Christian Cage. Here comes Nick Wayne to protect him. And it's looking like, we're probably going to get, maybe we're going to get what I thought we were going to get, which was Patriarchy versus FTR, where FTR would take out Nick Wayne. And then Christian would come, or Cope would come back to save Christian against FTR. But then they went the other way with it. And I'm not completely mad about this because I thought it was actually very much so needed, where Nick Wayne would take out Christian, and then you would have Kip Sabian and Mother Wayne also end up hitting him as well. Very much so deserved because he's been mentally abusive towards all of them and even physically abusive towards Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian. He's been mentally abusing Mother Wayne for many years now, calling her all kind of sluts and whores and all this stuff, saying that she's worthless and all that. So it's like he definitely did deserve everything that happened at All In. But then you had Cope come and save him. Mind you, I'm not mad at because I get to see my guy Edge, but I was confused on because it's like Christian deserved what happened to him, but you didn't want to do, I guess, two of the same attacks in the same night because you had the ops stuff, which I still feel like shouldn't have been, them taking out Samoa Joe. He could have just got hurt during the match and then, you still have the ops win, but whatever. I guess the ops were also probably dropping the trios titles too. So I have no clue what the heck's going on with the ops anymore. But all right, man. But yeah, I guess you just didn't want to have like two of the same moments. So okay, I guess you have Cope come out. I would have preferred if Nick Wayne just got taken out and then Cope came in. But I guess they didn't want to do it so Dominic Mysterio, Edge, Rey Mysterio-esque. So you want to have this one instead. Maybe Nick Wayne costs Christian and Cope a match. Maybe ends up costing Christian a match, and then Cope still gets involved, all that stuff. But Cope did tell Christian to go find yourself instead of saying go F yourself, like how Christian told him back in the day when Copeland wanted to team up with Christian and all that one last time. Now it looks like they are going to do it one last time. I did tell you I was going to happen at All Out. So that's going to be a really dang big pop for them. Probably could end up being even a main event match if there's tag titles on the line. But it probably wouldn't end up being a main event match. So probably like the opening, although I would love to see that be the main event because, they are in their home country. That'd be really cool. But then, oh, child, let's talk about the match before this match. I mean, the match after this match, because we could just get into this real quick and easy. We talk about Omega Okada first, because I have a lot less to say about this, other than this match was a letdown. This match was a letdown. I'm glad it did not start the night off, because my God, I'm going to be real with you. My expectations were not like the highest. I already came in saying that I think at the very least, at the very most, it's probably like a 4-star match. I did not think the very least, though, which I kept in my head, was a 2-star match. This match was bad. It was bad. You can't tell me you have an elite all-time wrestler like Kenny Omega and who y'all call an elite all-time wrestler in Kazuchika Okada, and they can't put on anything better than, just a decent match. Like, I thought, like, this is, like, I give it a 3-star rating, but I give it a 2-star rating because the guys that are having the match. You can't have this kind of match. Not this kind of match. There's nothing happening other than Don Callis getting involved. Why is Don Callis getting involved if the Continental Belt is up for grabs? It's Continental Belt and the International Belt. The Continental rules are literally nobody can get involved, or else that person, or if somebody gets involved, the person loses their Continental Belt. Okay, but now you're defending it under unified rules. What the hell are unified rules? What? Oh, so every title where somebody can be involved in a match and the person won't lose their... That's stupid. Then don't put the Continental Belt on the line if you're not going to use the Continental rules. That doesn't make any sense. Don't keep the Continental Belt history and still have it be a thing if you're not going to use the Continental Belt rules. And then, mind you, going forward, they're going to use Continental rules. What the... Oh, my God. That makes no sense. So for the one match where you wanted involvement, you're not going to use Continental rules. But every other match going forward, you're going to use Continental rules? Really? That doesn't make any... It's so stupid. It's so stupid. This match was just bad. Omega Okada didn't really do anything in this match that was entertaining. This could have been like a last man standing match, an Iron Man match. This could have been any kind of cool match. But you put no stipulation on it because the only match that actually had a stipulation was the Hangman Moxley match. I don't get why. I don't get why no other match had a stipulation. Specifically this one. This one where Kazuchika Okada tried killing Kenny Omega. You don't put a stipulation on it. Really? Really? Why? That's stupid. That makes no sense. So it's like, okay, you're not going to put stipulation on it, and then you're going to have them have a regular match, but it's going to be under unified rules, not under Continental rules, even though the Continental Belt's on the line, and you're going to have Don Callis getting involved, and, okay, sure, okay, got it. Nothing major happened in this match. Okay, bad match in my opinion. Okada wins. He's going to be there once a month, probably not doing much like he's been doing the entire time, because all he does in AEW is literally show up once a month, phone in matches. He phoned in a match against Kenny Omega for some stupid reason. I guess he can't respect Kenny Omega either. So yeah, mind you, speaking of respect, these guys have had respect for each other for so long now. Now you're having this heated rivalry and you don't put a stipulation. It makes no sense at all. This match sucked. This match was awful. Okada, Omega, both of y'all did not show out in this match. This was not only on Okada, this was also on Omega as well. Omega did a little more than Okada, but Okada still didn't. But Omega still didn't, in my opinion, do enough. Okada definitely did not do enough. Bruh just phoned in this match completely. I'm not even surprised by this phony who phones in matches, and I'm going to continue to say it. This man's career is looking a lot more and more overrated. I do not care to talk about Okada ever again until this guy actually loses the dang belt. That is the next time that I will actually talk about Kamitsuka Midkata. It's the last time I will ever talk about this man ever. Now, we got to talk about, though, is Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm. Because this match was really good. Really great. Absolutely elite match. But my God, when does it become too much? The kissing. Yes, Mercedes started it. Okay, cool. Toni Storm gonna give her 3 kisses and then eat her pussy in the match. What are we doing? It's weird. Anybody who's not an AEW fan found this to be weird. And the only reason AEW fans did not find this to be weird is because y'all want to be stans. Why can't we just be fans? Why can't we just be normal, regular fans? Why does everybody have to stand something? Why do you have to just defend it to your absolute core? It's weird. This was disturbing. I'm watching this match like, what the hell are we doing? Is this wrestling or porn? Why are you eating this woman's coochie in a match? How does this play in line with Toni Storm's character? Because she does outlandish shit. So why is she never eating anybody else's coochie? I ain't never see her do that to Mariah May. I ain't never seen her do that to Mina Shirakawa. I ain't never seen her put her tongue in they woman's mouth, but she gonna put her mouth on the Mercedes coochie. But she ain't never gone super crazy with them. Okay, that don't make any sense. Honestly, that doesn't even line up with each other because she was in love with Mina Shirakawa. She was kind of sort of in love with Mariah May. So you ain't never tried to eat any, so you tell me that she in love with a woman, but she ain't trying to eat the coach. That don't make any sense. But you don't like a woman, but you're trying to eat her coach? That don't even line up. That doesn't even make any sense at all. From a person. Never mind. I took all that out. But anyways, as I was saying, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It was shock value. It was so stupid to me. It kind of like just had like a bit of a blemish on the match, in my opinion. I had this as a 5-star match. I dropped it down to a 4-star just because of that one moment. I don't care if somebody says one moment can ruin. It's my opinion. It's literally my opinion. If you think my opinion's bad, fine. I don't care. But don't try to like change my opinion because it's my opinion. I'm going to have my opinion that I want to have. And I thought that ruined like some of the match for me. I was like, this is stupid as hell. Not to mention the fact that Mercedes did most of the carrying in this match and then loses the match. Why? And for anybody that's going to say, she has 6 belts, why are you crying? This is her first loss, why are you crying? Not her first loss, doesn't have 6 belts. You need to learn how to, actually watch AEW. She has 5 belts. Let's get the number correct if we're going to actually, say stuff. She has like at least 3-4 losses now in AEW. Now, mind you, I wouldn't even have cared if Toni Storm got the win if she didn't degrade Mercedes in front of everybody on Dynamite. Called her unauthentic, called her a fraud, called her no depth, said that she's only, caring about life and not caring about actually leaving a legacy at all, that she is, not who she claims to be, and that she's going to be known as the woman who can never get over and never be, the top woman and never win the big one and all that. And then she tried hitting the moneymaker, and then Toni almost hit the moneymaker on her. So it's like, let me get this straight. Toni goes over, but still gets the win? That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's not really how it usually works. And mind you, if you want to be unpredictable. Okay, I get it. But why do you have to be unpredictable at the expense of Mercedes Moné? You just degraded this woman in front of everybody. You literally, you wrote into your script every single thing that people say about Mercedes Moné, that she's not authentic, that she's a fraud, that she has no depth, that she can't get over, that she'll never be like one of the top wrestlers of all time because she's never gotten the big wins and all that stuff. And it's like you added on to that. You added on to that. I don't really get that at all. In the slightest, that just seems stupid to me. But then the worst part is, I feel like you just killed Mercedes' character. Because Mercedes' character has always been, at least in AEW, has always been, I call my shot, I get the win. Now that she's gotten the loss, where does she go from here? Are you going to carry out Mercedes and Toni? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to just continue to carry out this feud? Okay, I mean, I guess, but how do you even do the CEO gimmick now? Because of the fact that she looked like this unbeatable boss that now is beatable. So now putting over other wrestlers isn't going to be as easy. This is why I said if she was going to lose at All In, she needed to lose the CMLL Women's World title. She did not need to get that belt. She needed to lose the TBS title before so that she looks more and more beatable, so that when she does go to All In and she does lose, it at least makes sense. Mind you, she's defending the Rev Pro belt next week? Is today the 16th? I think next weekend she defends the Rev Pro belts. Is she going to lose that belt as well? Is Toni Storm going to cost her that belt too? Are they going to continue this thing like where now Toni Storm is costing her the belts? Which should happen. If you're going to go in any direction, Toni Storm should start costing Mercedes Moné every single belt, so that eventually when Mercedes gets the belt over Toni, you can kind of push her into a bit of a face role. Because now, if you go in that direction, you can at least have Toni start looking like a bully and have Mercedes Moné look like more and more of a failure. And mind you actually don't have to have Mercedes win that match, because you can have Toni versus Mercedes and then have Athena cash in on that match. So now you're turning Mercedes into a super chaser while also turning keeping Athena heel, because that's what she needs to be. That's what she's best at. And then you're allowing Toni to become a heel. Because I feel like if you don't do that and you're just going to have Toni go on to continue to be a face, where is the character developed then? We're going to talk about somebody in a little bit that was also struggling with some character development. Where is the development then? If she's going to continue to just be the exact same character that she is, and she's not going to go into a big, long feud with Mercedes Moné, where do we change at? When does the change happen? Does it happen when she loses to Athena? I mean, okay, I guess, but Tony is not really a babyface, though. That's like the issue here, is that Athena needs to be a heel, but Tony's not a babyface, though. Like, I don't even know, she's more of a tweener, I guess you could say. Like, she's kind of a face, but like, maybe it's just me. I don't really see her as like a babyface. Maybe other people do. I don't really know, but it's like, don't you want either super mega babyface to get cashed in on, or, you know, like, again, if Mercedes being built up into a face, you have like the babyface in the match going up against like the heel now. You have Athena cash in. That helps it out. But if not, you're gonna have a kind of sort of face and then a heel. If I don't know what the hell they're gonna do if they don't. That's why I said, like, I don't think Tony should have won the match. I thought it should have been Mercedes, because then you could easily just have Athena cashing on Mercedes. Mind you, she's still going to be, it's going to make her a face, but to be fair, she could easily just come out the next week and say that I wasn't trying to save AEW from her. I just wanted the belt. I still don't care about any one of y'all. She could easily be going off on Tony Khan saying that it took all this just to get me to the main roster and all that stuff. Like, she could easily be going off on the crowd as well, saying that, like, you know, you guys were never behind me, but you guys were so happy to see Mark Briscoe and all these other people get here, but you guys didn't want to see me get here. So just really, really, really going at the crowd. So you probably could do that as well. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the Mercedes Tony match, because I really did like the match. It's just like, if you're not going to go in this direction of Tony costing Mercedes and eventually turning Toni Storm into a heel and turning Mercedes Moné into a face, where do you go with Mercedes Moné? Because she has 5 belts still. TBS belt, Rev Pro Undisputed belts, CMLL Women's World Championship belt, and the EWA belt. Where do you go with Mercedes? She doesn't look unbeatable now, so putting people over isn't going to be as easy. I guess if you don't care about putting people over, fine, because, you know, AEW puts themselves first and not putting other companies first, which, I mean, that doesn't, it makes sense. Like, you don't have to put your competition over. Like, you don't have to, like, you know, help them out so much. But it's like, you got partnerships with them. Don't you want to at least, you know, honor some kind of partnership there? I don't know. It feels just dumb in my opinion. I would have just had Mercedes go over. I would have had Camille come back. I would have had the Renegade twins come out and help Mercedes. It keeps, you know, it protects Tony. It makes Mercedes, like, you know, look a lot more. It adds a lot more to Mercedes' character as well. Can they get a faction around her and all that stuff? So yeah, me personally, I would have had Mercedes actually just win this match. But again, I wouldn't have been mad and I wouldn't have crashed out, because I did crash out a TikTok video that I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have saw now, because it went pretty viral. I wouldn't have crashed out if you made sense. That's my only thing. It just feels like this did not make sense in the slightest. But let's go ahead and get on to this main event. And before I even talk about Hangman and all that stuff, I want to talk about my guy, Jonathan Raheem Moxley. He is officially a part of the community, because this man has had to backpack the Death Riders for so long now, and he probably still have to backpack them a little longer, but he had to backpack them for so long now. He had to make that bland, boring, stink-ass group look good. And for months upon months, for almost an entire year, y'all have been hating on my guy Moxley, saying that he is bland, saying that he's boring, saying that he can't do this, that he can't do that, that he can't carry a group, that he can't be a face of the company, yada, 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 yada. All this BS. And what did he do? He made all y'all feel something on Saturday. He made every single one of y'all get in y'all emotions. He had every single one of y'all just on y'all hands and knees praying to y'all gods and goddesses and whatever the heck you pray to for Hangman to win. Why? Because you hated Moxley that much. You just hated the man. You wanted that man to lose, and which means that he did his freaking job as a heel. He made all y'all feel hate for probably not even the first time, probably another time, because I know a lot of y'all be hating out there, but he made y'all feel something. And I think that needs to be talked about more, is that Moxley went on an absolutely amazing tear with this championship reign. This was not Reign of Terror, Triple H. No, this was Roman Reigns. The only difference is the Death Riders sucked. Had Jon Moxley had, like, you know, a competent team in his faction, Had he had competent trios in his damn faction? Had he had a competent woman by his side and not Marina Shafir? Had he had Chris Statlander by his side instead of Marina Shafir? Had he had anybody in that damn faction that could, try to be interesting for the first time in their life? The faction would have actually looked really good. I talked about it in a recent Jimmy Uso TikTok video. I said the reason why the Bloodline is so elite is because of their supporting cast. Your group can only be as good as its supporting cast is. Your head could be an all-time classic head. You can have the greatest freaking face of your faction of all time. But if the supporting cast is bland, boring, or just sucks in general, you ain't gonna be able to do much with them. And I'm sorry, but Gabe Kidd is boring. Pac is boring. Claudio is boring. Wheeler Yuta is boring. Marina Shafir is boring. They have zero aura. If they actually had aura, they would have got booed at All In the way that Moxley was getting booed at All In when he came in. Nobody even cared about them boys. I was on live watching it, and I had people telling me who went live with me, showing me the crowd when these folks was coming out, and nobody cared. I seen live recordings, nobody cared, because they're boring. But all y'all apparently Claudio fans, right? Okay, never mind. Maybe y'all like Michin fans. Y'all only loud on the internet, but quiet in person. That's what it really be. Jon Moxley did everything he could to make this faction as elite, as legendary as he could. And he just could not do enough because of the fact that you could only do so much. This man is absolutely awesome. Yes, you could say that some of the matches weren't the greatest in the world. You could say that, the Revolution match, it should have been a lot better. I'll agree with you on that. I thought it should have been a street fight to begin with. I like the street fight a lot more. Y'all hate on the street fight, though. That was crazy to me. Dynasty match was awesome. The Powerhouse Hobbs match was very much so nasty to watch because all the ear biting and all that stuff. But it's still a really good match nonetheless. The Hangman match was just absolutely elite. The Samoa Joe match was pretty good, but Samoa Joe kind of ain't really show up. I'm going to be real with you. But all his matches pretty much for the most part were really dang good. And y'all hating on the beginning of the match. The beginning of the run where y'all said, but the supporting cast doesn't really look that great. Well, look at the story that's being told. He took out Bryan Danielson. Now Darby's coming in. Darby's still trying to come back. He's taking out Orange Cassidy to make Darby feel more in fear. He took out Darby Allin. So it's like he is doing a lot of great things early on, even if he's not taking out the top guys. That's fine. You don't always need to be taking out the damn top guys. Y'all only care about top guys, yet y'all ain't even FTR fans. So what the hell? Why y'all come on, man? Y'all gotta pick a side here, man. My goodness gracious. But that match was absolutely awesome between Hangman Page and Jon Moxley. It was definitely as bloody as I expected it to be. It was a Texas death match. I forgot the Texas death matches don't have a pin. So that's really interesting in my opinion. It's literally just like either 10 count, not getting up, or submission, which, I'm not mad about it, by the way. But the match was really dang cool. I love how safe of a wrestler Moxley is, in the fact that he continuously didn't drop Hangman on a bed of nails. That was very much so smart. It was last second he did. He might scraped his face, something like that. But for the most part, he didn't drop his head on he didn't drop his head first on nails because he knew what happened with him at Spike, and he just didn't want that. And he was willing to take the bumps as well. So that's really, really cool by him. Then we got Hangman coming on out. Well, no, my bad. First, we had Will Ospreay coming on. We had Hangman coming on out. What the hell? Hangman was already there. Hangman 2.0 came out as well. Hangman Jr. came out. But no, Will Ospreay came out in a Hangman Adam Page cosplay. That was Hangman number 2. No, Will Ospreay came out, though. He ended up getting his ass whooped by the Death Riders because the Death Rider did come out first, and then he got jumped. He's probably going to be out for a minute now. They're probably going to ride him off for at least a month or so, probably till around Forbidden Door time. And then we had some guy in a Blue Panther mask. I don't really know who that was exactly, but he was doing a bunch of yes chants and all that stuff. Might have been a very big fan of one Daniel Bryan back in WWE. I know a lot of people are very big fans of him. This person, I don't really know who that was, but shout out to that person though. Pretty good Busaiku knee and all that. And then we had Darby Allin come on out, and I'm gonna be real with you, man. The one time you don't want to be a Daredevil is when you should have been a Daredevil. All right, bro. All right, man. You could have done a coffin drop off the top of the dang Titron. I thought it was gonna happen. Me personally, I thought he was gonna be, I thought he was gonna stand 10 toes down and be like, you know what? I'm Darby Allin. Got a coffin drop off of it. Okay, never mind. You don't want to do that. There's all the little cameras hanging around, so you could do coffin drops off of that. But no, you don't want to do that either. We're going to do a regular schmegular, just coffin drop off the dang top of the turnbuckle. All right, man, whatever, man. You got it. You got it, Darby. You got it, Darby. And then we got the young buckaroonies coming on now. God, man, these guys just don't know when to take an L, do they? They don't know when the hell to take an L. Took an L earlier in the night, which I'm surprised by, but took another L because they came on out there, tried taking out Hangman, and then I think that's when actually when Bryan Danielson, because then they got because then Swerve Strickland came out and he punched both of them in the face, and then it looked like for a second that he might not help out Hangman, but then he threw him the chain, and Hangman would go use the chain on Moxley, and here goes Swerve just standing like a proud dad. That was funny. This guy is an aura farmer, man. I know damn well they ain't show it, but I know damn well he was just walking down to the ring too, just wrapping the chain up around his hand with his aura farm himself. I'm surprised Big Aura Merchant didn't try to house call Jon Moxley while he was just being hung by Hangman Adam Page. Probably thought it wasn't the most safest of things to do, because like if he would have done that, he would have had to like let go of the chain. So it's like, yeah, that's probably not the smartest thing in the world. But I mean, yeah, no, it wouldn't have been cool. I don't want to see Jon Moxley actually die. I don't want to see that happen. I wonder if they could have done something though there where it's like maybe afterwards he house calls him, like after he taps out and then Hangman lets go, and like right as soon as Hangman's letting go, just come and just house call him or something like that, or even Swerve stomp him. I don't know what would have worked, but it was a really, really feel good main event. I absolutely loved it. I do see why a lot of people think that this All In was a lot better than I personally think it was. I did give it about an 8 out of 10, but then I said because Dustin Rhodes did win that I am giving it 2 points less, because sorry, I just don't want to see a 60-year-old man win. It's just not my thing. I don't need to see a 60-year-old man getting getting any kind of titles in the year 2025. Just don't need to see that. But it was a really, really good All In overall. I thought that, I will say, I feel like Tony Khan fumbled just a bit. I feel like he fumbled just a bit because of the fact that you don't have this amazing card and you just don't set it up in the proper way. I feel like this happens not as much as of recent. This feels like a 2024 thing with Tony Khan, because 2025, all the opening matches were really great. You had you had Will Ospreay, Kevin Knight open up Revolution. Dynasty, I want to say that was, I forgot the opening of that match. Of that card. And then you had, Double or Nothing open up with Mercedes and Jamie Hayter. Like, you have all these great openings, but then you pick this one and it's just like, how you mess up All In. Like, I feel like had the card just been set up better, it would have been a much better pay-per-view for me, at least. It might have been all-time classic pay-per-view for me, at least. But because it wasn't, I personally did drop it a little lower. I know people are going to say, but like, oh, why do you care about how the card's set up? Well, for me, it's my enjoyment from the beginning to the end that makes me determine whether I think it's an all-time classic or whether like it's a really elite pay-per-view or not. That's how a match goes for me as well. I don't care if the ending of the match is great, the beginning of the match sucked, or the middle of the match sucked. That's not going to just make the match 10 times better for me because the ending was great. No, not how it works for me. But I did think this was a really great pay-per-view overall, though. I did personally enjoy the pay-per-view, at least not from start to finish, but from like middle to finish, besides the whole Mercedes Tony and Omega Okada thing, which also kind of hurt the night for me as well. I thought those were just two bad decisions in my opinion. But speaking of hurt, though, let's go ahead and move on over from AEW to WWE, because we got to talk about Mr. Seth freaking Rollins, who had a little matchy match against LA Los Angeles Knights, and he ended up hurting his knee. Now, I made a video, and then Seth Rollins decided to have a little, I guess, talk show or something like that. I don't know what the heck that actually was, to be honest, but he had some like show where he was talking about his knee injury and all that, and I'm calling BS. He's not hurt. No, he's not hurt at all in the slightest. This man is bullshitting. He is bullshitting the world. Oh man. I know. The reason why I know Seth Rollins is bullshitting is because he looked a little too happy in that interview. He looked just a little too giddy in that interview. And I don't mean Josh Giddy, because nope, he like him his age or actually older, because I think Becky Lynch is actually older than him. No, she's like a year younger. But no, he likes grown adults, not children. But Seth Rollins just capping. He's definitely cashing in at SummerSlam on the CM Punk Gunther match. I will say though, if he is truly hurt, which I for some reason I could say that Seth Rollins wasn't truly hurt and folks did not care. But when I said Liv Morgan was having a worked injury, everyone wanted to jump down my throat. Crazy, but okay. But when it comes to Seth Rollins though, I think if he truly is hurt, I think this is a very big time just to go on over to Braun Breaker, give him the world title. If it truly is the case, I would just give the Money in the Bank to Braun Breaker because Seth Rollins could easily just give it to him, or Bronson Reed if you really want to. But I think Braun Breaker might be the better option because I would give it to Braun, and then I would have Seth Rollins come back and go on a very big face run again to go against Braun Breaker. He tries to get back into the whole group and stuff like that, but he's not the leader anymore because of the fact that Braun Breaker's there, or maybe they just don't even accept him back in because they're just like, yeah, nah, buddy, sorry, man, the future's here. The future's now. You the past. You can't stay healthy. And then so he ends up going after Braun Breaker, and maybe he's not the guy to throw in Braun Breaker. Maybe he's someone that helps, just take down that whole entire group that he helped created once again, like how he did with the Shield and stuff like that. They could do something like that. That'd be pretty dang cool. But I hope he isn't hurt, though, because obviously this guy has already had a lot of knee injuries as is. I don't want to see him be any more hurt because I think it might end up changing his wrestling style. He probably should change it up just a bit, though. I think all the flips and all that stuff, he don't really need to do them anymore. I know he sees guys like Omega and AJ Styles still doing them and thinking that, like, he can do it, but it's like, they don't have the knee injury history that he has. I think he probably should just slow it down just a bit. I would say just continue to be more like your striker self, more like people were saying to be like Undertaker and Stone Cold, but like they're more of bigger guys though. He can't be a brawler because he's not a big dude. No one's going to really find it believable. So I think he needs to just kind of, get more on like that Shinsuke route and just be like a pure striker and just see if he can actually do a lot of that, or add a lot of that into his arsenal, which I do believe he probably could, because I've seen him kind of do AJ Styles moves a bit. I think he did it in the AJ Styles match, so I'm pretty sure he could do a little something. He definitely got to stop doing that goddamn Phoenix splash as well, bro. You can't do it. You can't do it. You ain't ever hit it. Stop doing it because you're just going to mess your body up even more. He's already, 40 years old? He got to stop doing them moves. Yeah, you know what? Nah. I'm with y'all. Seth Rollins, you got to stop them flipping moves, man. You got to, even if he truly isn't hurt, he's got to stop them just because, like, he's going to ruin his knees to the point where he can't walk anymore. Just be a striker. I think it'd be the most believable thing in the world. I hope the guy isn't hurt. I hope that he is good. I know people are saying, like, could LA Knight possibly get the Money in the Bank now if Seth Rollins truly is hurt? Probably not. I think that ship has just sailed for LA Knight. I'm going to be real with you. I think LA Knight, maybe he can get a world title still, but I'm going to be real with you. I have more faith in Seth Rollins' knees than I do LA Knight getting a world title anytime soon. But, yeah, no, I just think, like, there's not really much to say here other than that, he does probably got to change his moveset up a bit, be a striker. I would possibly go into the Braun Breaker storyline if he truly is hurt and just put the Money in the Bank on Braun Breaker, have him cash in on the Gunther CM Punk match. But if he isn't hurt, though, which I believe he's not hurt, he's cashing in on that Punk Gunther match. I 100% believe he is, and I think they're going to be running a big old thing with them up until WrestleMania. I think Gunther's going to end up but going more into a face type of role, because we do got to see a bit more from Gunther other than just always being a heel. He is the ring general, not, the ring, like, master, or I guess massa, for those of y'all to kind of get the joke there. So it's like, him just respecting the ring. He can be a face and still respect the ring. He doesn't need to be like a baby face like Cody Rhodes or anything like that. He doesn't need to be a guy that's, the underdog in matches. Even though they freaking turn this guy face, he will be the underdog. And like, he doesn't need to be. He could literally just still be the exact same kind of wrestler, but just someone that, is more of a face. More in that, like, kind of like how, like how Swerve is. Swerve isn't like a baby face by any means. He's a face, but he doesn't, like, he doesn't try to go out there and, like, kiss babies and, like, hug the crowd and all that stuff. He's just still him. He's just still the exact same wrestler that he was when he was a heel. And I think that's the exact same thing that Gunther could do as well. But I think this does go eventually into maybe Seth versus Gunther and then get like a little long feud there. Maybe like a 2-match feud, 3-match feud, something like that. You get Seth versus CM Punk at WrestleMania for sure. We're 1000% getting that. Especially if both guys are able to stay healthy. They want to do that match. They're definitely leaning towards that. I can see CM Punk either winning at Rumble or winning at Elimination Chamber. Maybe even gets to win at Rumble because it's in Saudi and he lost in Saudi. He didn't want to go to Saudi. So second time he goes to Saudi, at least he will get the win. Maybe they do that. Not really sure. But again, if it's not gonna work, I hope the best for Seth Rollins. He's one of the greats, one of the all-time guys. He's one of the best in-ring wrestlers of all time. And I hope that he is able to make a full-on recovery and able to come back maybe with a new different style, new different look to him as well. If he's not hurt, though, he's cashing in at SummerSlam 1,000%. But speaking a bit of the things that happened over the weekend, not to get to SummerSlam yet by any means, we got to talk about Evolution because, my God, this was a PLE pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, for the ages. Oh, man. I'm so glad I'm always on the right side of history, man. I love being a women's wrestling fan. I really do. These women are amazing. They were hooping. Oh, baby, they was hooping. It was a thing of beauty, man, to watch this PLE, man, because this was just an all-time classic PLE for me. I'm gonna be real with you. This was actually recency biasy, all that. This is my favorite PLE. This was literally my favorite PLE ever. I absolutely loved it. This is my favorite pay-per-view PLE of the year. I had second one being the Double or Nothing card. I thought Double or Nothing was awesome as well, especially that Hangman Will Ospreay match, which was absolutely elite, all-time classic match. But I just absolutely love this PLE. The Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, Bayley match. I was worried about Lyra. My bad, Lyra. I forgot you were Steph Curry twin. You know, I forgot whenever you get into the ring, it's just gonna be nothing but just killer. It's gonna be a killer. I forgot about that, man. And they was just hooping. Becky Lynch with that awesome pin in the end. I can't even show it because of the fact that, you know, WWE would copyright this and all that. So I don't feel like getting this copyrighted and taken down and all that. But that cool little like slide over the back that she did to Bayley, like how they do in like all the action movies when like you slide over a car. It's like, you know that she been in them acting classes real hard. Sliding over into a pin attempt, into like a roll up. I was like, oh, you different, Becky. Don't ever tell me that Becky Lynch can't wrestle. I don't know who the hell y'all think y'all is trying to tell me that. And y'all make me disgusted. It make me want to throw up. But they was hoping. I thought that was the best match of the night going into it, at least. I was like, oh my, this match is elite. There's no way you could top this. There's no way you could. And then we get JC Jane versus Jordan Grace, which I told all y'all to watch y'all fucking mouths about JC Jane. I told y'all next time I hear y'all talking bad about JC Jane, I'm gonna grab your lips just like this. I'm gonna grab your lips. And I'm gonna pick you up, just dangling you by your lips. Cause who do y'all think y'all is trying to fix y'all mouth and talk about JC Jane, acting like as if she ain't a hooper? Acting like as if she can't hang with the best of them. She was going crazy in this match. I tried telling y'all, too, that JC Jane and Gigi Dolan was an absolutely awesome. I tried telling y'all, too, that JC Jane and Gigi Dolan was an absolutely awesome team. And had Gigi Dolan been able to stay healthy, that tag team could have been really doing some big things. And had Mandy Rose, not being on only, not only cared about the fans, that, hey, Fatal Attraction, Toxic Attraction? Yeah, Toxic Attraction. They could have been absolutely awesome, man. But, things happen, whatever. JC James is having an amazing run right now. She's beating Stephanie Vacquet, which oh my gosh. I'm so sick and tired of y'all when I say Stephanie Vacquet. Y'all think that I'm being racist. Do y'all not watch the product? Nikki Bella literally messed her name up. It's been a running joke. Get with the program, y'all. Goodness gracious, get with the program. But she beat Stephanie Vacquet, then she beat Jordan Grace. Mind you, she did get a little bit of help from Blake Monroe as well, but she beat her nonetheless. She was already whooping her ass anyway. I tried telling y'all that JC Jane for to carry that match, and folks was looking at me crazy. Folks saying, what are you talking about? She gonna carry Jordan Grace. Well, would you look at what happened there? She carried Jordan Grace. Would you look at that? But Blake Monroe also did turn heel as well, which is a very big moment. I'm happy because Blake Monroe needs to be a heel, doesn't need to be a face. Doesn't make any kind of sense. She's not a good face in my opinion. Much better heel. Also, I don't know why y'all keep trusting the woman to begin with. She turned on Toni Storm and turned on Mina Shirakawa. Why would she not turn on Jordan Grace as well? Y'all gotta get with the program. I think she turned on Julia. Not Julia. She was teaming with somebody in Stardom. I forgot her name though. I think it was like Money or Mira, something with an M. And she turned on them too. Might also been somebody named Lisa as well. I'm really blanking on that on like that little trio and duo that she was around a lot of times. But well, no, she was in a duo. She was in a tag team, but she turned on that person as well. So she been turning on folk her entire life, man. She probably turned on her parents. If I wouldn't even be surprised, man. Anyway, she turned her back on AEW. But yeah, so I'm happy that Blake Monroe is back as a heel. It's gonna make NXT just so much better. Although I'm gonna be real with you, I could still not watch NXT this past week. It just. It is boring. Unlike Evolution, because then the next match was, what was the next match after this? Was it the Tiffany one? No, it wasn't the Tiffany one. It was, well, whatever match was next. Yeah, they might have been the women's battle royale. No, it was the women's tag team. The women's tag team was absolutely awesome as well. Them women was hooping, just going crazy the entire match. Raquel was doing her thing. Roxanne was doing her thing. Charlotte was doing her thing. Apparently, all y'all love Charlotte now as well because y'all was super loud when Charlotte done got in the ring. She got the loudest pop. Like Alexa Bliss got a loud pop on her entrance, and then Charlotte Flair got a loud pop on her dang, entrance to the dang match. Y'all absolutely love Charlotte Flair now, which is crazy. But I think a lot of it is too because she's showing so much personality. This has been the best character work that I've seen from Charlotte Flair. She looks so amazing by Alexa Bliss's side. They look like a really fun tag team. I personally am loving these two together. So I hope that they do eventually get the belts from Roxanne and Raquel. I think that they look like a well-oiled machine as a tag team, and I kind of figured that they would because of the fact that they're just two really dang good wrestlers. Some of the elite of the elites. They are literally of the four horsewomen. They really could just be Alexa taking Bayley's spot if you want to be honest. But whatever. She's the fifth honorary horseman, as said by Charlotte Flair. I mean, I ain't heard Becky, Bayley, or Mercedes say this, but okay, I guess Charlotte's word's the last word, but whatever. I also did I tried telling y'all that once Charlotte Flair turns face, everybody's going to love her. She can play the heck out of I knew she could play a face. I just knew that she had a really good personality outside of wrestling. I said this was going to be very much so flawless, easy as hell for her to transition into, and look at it. Super dang easy. She probably always wanted to be a face, but Vince McMahon just wanted her to be a heel because the last name Flair. Didn't need to do it. But whatever. But that match was awesome. We had the amazing moment where Zarya ended up spearing Sol Ruca. She was going for Alexa. Sol Ruca is holding up Alexa, and then Charlotte saves Alexa. Two great character development moments right there between these two teams. Going to be really cool to see what happens with Alexa and Charlotte on Friday. It was pretty interesting to see what happened with Zarya and Sol Ruca on this past Tuesday because of JC and Fallon and Jasmine kind of, stirring the pot a little bit. That's the only part that I actually did see, by the way. Literally the only part. And I think next is a Tiffany Trish match. And I'm sorry, Trish Stratus. I'm sorry. I forgot that, you could at least do a little bit of hooping. Tiffany Stratton, on the other hand, ugh. Please, somebody, for the love of all that is good, get the belt off of Tiffany Stratton. Oh my God, dude, this woman sucks at being a champion. This woman sucks at wrestling. But we're just going to go ahead and skip past this match because I don't feel like talking about that mid match. And then we had the Battle Royale, which, odd. Very odd, but honestly, we're going to skip past this Battle Royale too because there's not much to talk about here. There was literally nothing that happened in this match. Shout out to Kalani Jordan for making her little Kofi Kingston moment. Other than that, this match was very much so it was very odd to me. I guess I could say a couple things. Julia got taken out early, didn't even get recognized as the United States champion. It was Alina, and then you have Lola Vice stay until like the final 6. I was so confused. It was odd, but okay, whatever. And then we go into the main event, which is Rhea and Io. Now, if y'all listened to the last episode, you know that I was a bit critical of this match. I was worried. I was like, oh no, this could be a very bad match because the past Rhea Io matches have just not been good. The only one that was good was the Io Rhea Bianca match, which, mind you have two awesome elite wrestlers in Bianca and Io in the match. The match should look good enough as long as Rhea can do what she does best, which is sell her ass off. Not literally, she's not Mandy Rose. I'm so stupid for that. But anyways, yeah, no. That was stupid. I don't know why I did that. But that's all she has to do is be able to sell, which she did really, really well. I mean, did really, really great because she is a great seller. She's one of the best sellers in the company right now. One of at least at the top 5 to 10 sellers, men, top 10, probably top 5 women. But she did an absolute amazing job with selling in that match. But Io versus Rhea has not always been the best match. It has not always been the best match. It's been very much so decent at best, to say the least. And it's because Rhea just cannot keep up with Io. Like, she can't. And this match showed that I think Io slowed down a bit. I think Io probably slowed down a tiny bit so that the match would look a lot better. And I guess you could say maybe Io should have done that from the beginning, but I would also counter that by saying Rhea is the top star in the women's division. Maybe she should, be able to keep up with Io. How about, everybody calls you the best in-ring wrestler in WWE? Well, then show that by keeping up with the truly best in-ring wrestler in WWE, Io Sky. But whatever. But the match, though, absolutely awesome. All-time classic match. I'm not even going to lie to you. That is an all-time classic match. These women was absolutely hoping. But then it happened. Not Naomi cashing in, by the way. I love that. Absolutely happy for Naomi. Shout out to my dog. But then it happened, though. Right before that. Io missile drop kicks the ref. Rhea snaps. Rhea starts crashing out. Rhea starts destroying Io Sky. Io starts going back in the offensive. These women are going crazy against each other. They get back into the ring. Naomi comes in when these two women are both out. Cashes in. Super happy about that. Shout out to my dog, Naomi. I'm happy for you. Real, real happy for you. And then after the match, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are kind of looking at each other. Rhea helps up Io, and then they just hug. They fall back down. They walk out the ring, and they're just hugging. And I'm like, from right there on, I knew exactly what was going to happen. Rhea was going to get yet another championship match. Oh my gosh. It would have been so easy to just have Rhea Ripley attack Io Sky after the match. You say why? Because she's frustrated. That's literally the only reason as to why. Why is she getting all these championship matches? Just because. Why are they so afraid of turning Rhea back into a heel? It's like they're going to do the same thing with Roman Reigns, where they're going to be afraid to turn him back into a heel. Why? Edge was a top heel for many years. Basically only a heel for so long, and everybody loved it. Everybody continued to boot it, but they loved it. Randy Orton was a top heel for so many years, and they loved it. Why can't Rhea just continue to be the top heel of the women's division? Why not continue to be a top heel? It would look so much better. It would make so much more sense. I said that she could have easily just taken out Io Sky, and then when Naomi comes out celebrating and all that stuff, and then you have you have her talking about who's gonna be next and all this stuff, or who's gonna be coming after her. This is when you can have Rhea Ripley come out and say. And maybe you have somebody got to mention that Io Sky would be getting a rematch and all that stuff. Oh, you got Adam Pearce come out and say that when Io Sky is healthy that she'll get a rematch because she is the front of the line and all that. Then you could have Rhea Ripley come on out and say that she took out Io Sky, so the front of the line is not there anymore. She is in fact the front of the line now, and that would be a great way to go into Rhea Naomi. You have Rhea now actually enacting brutality, being the eradicator, being the character that she's supposed to be. But instead, you want to keep portraying Rhea as this loving woman, and it's like, why? You made the woman abuse Dominic Mysterio for months upon months, force him into the Judgment Day. You had him and Rhea Ripley going into Rey Mysterio's house and going at his mom and his sisters and Rey and all that stuff. You had this woman doing all kind of crazy, just heinous things for months upon months upon months upon months for the whole entire freaking year. And then you just turn the woman into a face. Mind you, she destroyed Liv Morgan all because Liv Morgan won a contenders match, won a number one contenders match, and won a challenge for the world title. And she told Liv Morgan to stay out of my business. Well, the championship is her business because she won a number one contenders match. Whatever. Then she tells Naomi to stay out of her business. Well, Naomi was Money in the Bank holder, so you're going after a championship. Io Sky is her business because Io has a championship, and Naomi has Money in the Bank. Naomi could cash in on literally whoever the hell she wants to cash in on. North America Championship, NXT Women's Championship, Tag Team titles, IC title, US title, Women's World Championship, WWE Women's Championship. Now there's this whole AAA partnership, that Women's AAA title. Now there's a TNA kind of thing as well, TNA partnership. You get the TNA Knockout title, TNA Tag title. Hell, she want to go ahead and go over to AEW. She can go cash in on Toni Storm or Mercedes Moné, or go to Ring of Honor and cash in on Athena, or the interim champion Mina Shirakawa for the Ring of Honor TV title. She can do whatever the hell she want to do. So why the hell wouldn't she do it? What do you mean your business? Mind you, why did Rhea even get the match to begin with? Why did she get the Evolution match to begin with when Io literally told Asuka like 2 weeks before that the woman she wanted to face, that she always wanted to face, was Asuka? What the hell happened in between that week or two? What the hell happened? Did her and Asuka have a falling out? Mind you, if you would have done Io and Rhea, and you would have had Rhea continuously take out Io, or even just take out Io after Evolution, you could have actually had Asuka come on out to challenge Rhea because of what she did to Io. She could easily say, we might not be damage control anymore, but that's still my friend. That is still one of my best friends. You could have had Kyrie come out and actually challenge her. You could have had, maybe things growing between Asuka and Io that we didn't even know were happening. So that's why Asuka didn't come on out, but Kyrie come on out because Kyrie's really cool with Io Sky. And then Kyrie, and Rhea have a match, and then Rhea takes out Kyrie, and then afterwards she continues to attack her, and then here comes Asuka. You could have done that, but you don't want to do that. There's nothing else that they want to do with this woman other than have her in the world title scene. And that's the issue. Y'all bring up, all you Rhea stands, you'll bring up John Cena, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria. All these people earn their matches via matches. Lyra faced Bayley in a number one contenders match 2 weeks ago. The match ended in a draw because I forgot what happened exactly. I think both women got counted out or something like that, or whatever the hell happened in that match. Oh no, it was a double pin. Both women had a double pin, so the match just got whatever. So they both got they both got their match at Evolution. This past Monday, Lyra beat Bayley in a number one contenders match 2 out of 3 falls. She's at least earning the matches. Rhea got a rematch against Io and lost. She lost. It was a double disqualification which really made no sense for Io, by the way, because she accidentally missile drop kicked Bianca Belair. But then Rhea Ripley literally beat up Bianca Belair. Did not get suspended at all. Literally just got it. Literally got it lifted, suspended, and then Adam Pearce said they were going to suspend her, but then they just lifted it. Really? Everybody else got suspended for hitting a ref, but Rhea doesn't. Okay, so then she gets a rematch. She gets a rematch to a rematch that she shouldn't have gotten a rematch to at WrestleMania. Mind you, she never even gave Liv Morgan her rematch. Rhea got multiple rematches against Liv Morgan last year, but Liv Morgan can't get one. Can't get not a one. Okay, got it. And then she gets the Evolution match for no reason. And now she's getting this match for no reason. And y'all gonna say, but she wasn't pinned. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She wasn't the champion. You don't get a rematch clause just because you didn't get pinned if you weren't the champion. People saying that Io Sky is too much in the title scene. How? How? She was in an Elimination Chamber number one contenders match against Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley interfered. Last year, she won a 30-woman or 20-woman battle royale, whatever the hell it was, something-woman battle royale to face Io at Saturday night's main event. 2 months after winning her dang battle royale. So you're telling me that Io can earn the matches? That everybody else, that Liv didn't even get the world title after she took out Rhea. She had to beat Becky Lynch for it. And after losing a battle royale, it was a big old battle royale. Becky Lynch won the title, and then Liv goes on to face Becky. Mind you, at least at the very bare minimum, that was the first time she had a world title shot in over 2-3 years now, because the last time she was about to get one, Rhea took her out. So it's I don't understand why, since last year, 2024, after WrestleMania, almost every single world title shot from Raw has gone to Rhea Ripley. Let's look at them all. Battle Royale, that was just a Battle Royale. Then we have Liv versus Becky. That's number 2. Then we have Liv versus Lena. That's number 3. Then we have Liv versus Rhea, number 4. Then we have Liv versus Rhea at number 5 at Bad Blood. Then we have Liv versus Io at Saturday Night's Main Event. Then we have Liv versus Rhea, Liv versus Io, Liv versus... Oh, my bad. We have Liv versus Rhea. Then we have Rhea versus Io, Rhea versus Io, Rhea versus Io Bianca, Rhea versus Io, and now Rhea versus Io versus Naomi. Child... Why does she need to be in all of these world title matches? Mind you, folks be getting mad at Mercedes Moné for holding all these belts. Folks is mad at Roman Reigns for being in all these main events when he was the big dog. Folks is mad at Charlotte Flair for having all these dang titles, taking all these title shots from everybody. Folks is mad at Cody Rhodes for being a world champion last year. Y'all was mad about Cody Rhodes being a world champion. Mind you, after Cody lost 39, what happened? He had to go beat Brock Lesnar. He had to go beat Dominic Mysterio. He had to go beat Judgment Day. He had to go beat Shinsuke. He had to go win a battle. He had to go win the Royal Rumble to actually be able to face Roman Reigns again. After WrestleMania 41, he had to win a whole King of the Ring tournament to actually get to face John Cena again. Rhea Ripley is the only person on the roster who doesn't have to earn her matches. She just gets her matches because she's a superstar. And y'all won't say creative control. But y'all real quick say creative control about Mercedes Moné. But y'all won't say it about Rhea Ripley, though. Y'all won't say it about Rhea Ripley. But y'all say it about Mercedes Moné. Okay. That's interesting because, again, she's had every world title shot this year. And for those of y'all that are going to say, well, who could you throw into the world title scene? Yeah, there's nobody. They're all in tag teams. Asuka and Liv Morgan and Roxanne and Raquel are all in tag teams, guys. Who else are you going to throw into the world title scene? Well, here's the problem with that. When Liv Morgan and Raquel were in a tag team together, Liv Morgan was going for the world title again. Raquel was going for the IC title. So why can't Roxanne go for the world title? Why can't Raquel go for the world title? Why can't Asuka go for the world title? Why can't Kairi Sane go for the world title? Why can't Bayley now go for the world title? I mean, she has history with Naomi. She has more history with Naomi than both Io and Rhea do combined. Why can't Rhea go into a big feud with Io Sky where she finally goes over Io Sky, just not for a world title? So then down the line, you could run that back again when Io or Rhea has the world title, and you could, finally see if Rhea can get over Io. Why can't Rhea do anything else? Roman Reigns has not had a title shot for who knows how long now. Mind you, Cody Rhodes literally said the man can be the very first person to get a world title shot because he's earned it. Yet Roman Reigns did not take the world title shot. He hasn't had a world title shot, technically speaking, I guess, since 2019 because of the fact that was the last time he actually wasn't a champion before the whole 4-year reign. But it's for the whole past year of 2024, he was in the Bloodline stuff, and then he went to the Seth Rollins CM Punk stuff. And now he's going to continue being in the Seth Rollins CM Punk stuff. But Rhea can't be in anything else. You think Roman Reigns doesn't sell as much as Rhea does, if not more? You think Cody Rhodes doesn't sell as much as Rhea Ripley, if not more? You think Jey Uso doesn't sell as much, if not more? Mind you, Jey Uso has to earn his matches. Jey Uso went into the King of the Ring. Then he went into the Gauntlet match. He has to earn his matches. He's probably not even going to get into the world title scene anymore either. So it's everybody else has to earn their ways. Heck, CM Punk, Randy Orton, John Cena, they all had to earn their ways. Mind you, even John Cena had to earn his way in. I guess you could say that he politicked his way into the Elimination Chamber, which is fine. He did, but the Royal Rumble, he had the Royal Rumble match, and then he went on to the Elimination Chamber. Mind you, this guy has more of a reason than Rhea Ripley for being able to politic his way into a match. He's John Cena. He's a legend. He carried I don't want to say he carried WWE, but he definitely played a very big, intricate part in WWE's success throughout the PG era for at least 10, 20 years. So he kind of has a very good reason. And for most people, they would say that he carried WWE. Me personally, I don't even care about John Cena, so whatever. But, he would have a very good reason. But Rhea Ripley does not have to. Mind you. We're going to talk about something else because I brought it up earlier about character development. Rhea Ripley has been the exact same character her entire career. People say she had a character change with the whole mommy thing. No, she didn't. What was the difference? She's called herself mommy. Okay, so it was still the whole brutality thing. It was still the whole eradicating thing, which is what she's been doing since NXT. Mind you, y'all the same folks that said Bianca Belair needs a character change. Charlotte Flair needs a character change. John Cena needs a character change. Y'all said Cody Rhodes needs a damn character change. It's been like 3 years. Roman Reigns needs a character change. So everybody else needs a character change but Rhea Ripley. But Rhea bloody Ripley. Everybody else need it but her. Okay, got it. You got it. This woman has done nothing to make anybody bigger. Mind you, y'all say that all y'all biggest gripe about Charlotte Flair is that she didn't put anybody over. But Rhea Ripley ain't got to put anybody over, right? Rhea Ripley ain't got to put anybody over. But Charlotte Flair got to put folk over. Okay, that don't make any sense. That y'all biggest gripe about Mercedes Moné with these damn titles is that she ain't putting nobody over. But Rhea Ripley don't got to put anybody over. Y'all biggest gripe about Becky Lynch is that she don't put anybody over. But Rhea Ripley doesn't have to put anybody over. What? No. You have to put people over in wrestling because that's how that works. That's how wrestling advances. Mind you, for the 30,000th time that I've said on this podcast now, putting somebody over does not mean you have to lose to them. It means making them look like they are legit. That's all. You got to make them look like they are competent to be in the ring with you and be on your level. That's all. Gunther does that very, very well by making all of his opponents look believable against him, but still being able to show that he is the most dominant wrestler in the ring. Rhea Ripley does not do that. Throughout her entire 2023 reign, besides Nia and Becky, who are Nia Jax and Becky Lynch, every other wrestler did not look like they belonged in the same ring with Rhea Ripley. Mind you, Becky Lynch doesn't even do that. Charlotte Flair didn't even do that. Only Rhea Ripley made it look like as if she was just bigger than life and bigger than everybody else that was in the match, and that nobody could actually be on an equal footing with her because she is just so far above them. You don't do that as a wrestler. If you say it's the booking, that's not just the booking. That is also a bit on Rhea. Rhea has a voice. She could literally tell them, I want to make people look competent to me. Roman Reigns told WWE, I'm not losing to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39. He said, I'm not losing to Cody at WrestleMania 39. What happened? He didn't lose to Cody at WrestleMania 39. You tell me that Rhea Ripley can't say, hey, I want these people to be competent to me? We don't hear any stories about that. So before y'all try to say, but we don't know anything. Okay, but we haven't heard anything that denies it either. We haven't heard anything that denies it or proves it true. So we have to just go on the belief that she's possibly not. She's possibly not or possibly is, one of the two. I'm going to lean towards possibly not since there ain't no damn story ever came out. So the woman can't put anybody over. Can't make anybody look competent in the ring with her. Can't earn any one of her title shots. And y'all don't want to say she got creative control. But y'all are real quick to say that other people got creative control, i.e. Mercedes Moné. Y'all are real quick to say that people are overbooked, i.e. Jey Uso. But y'all are not ready to say that Rhea Ripley is possibly overbooked or has creative control. It lets me know a lot. I also have something else written here as well. Her best attribute is her star power and her pen. She's not the best in ring. She's not the best character worker. She's not the best mic worker, nor is she the most charismatic. She's just a superstar who's really good all around, but nothing special. One to two elite matches doesn't automatically make you elite in the ring. There are a lot of y'all that say that she is the best mic worker. No, she's not. Liv Morgan is better than her. Bianca Belair is better than her. We've seen in the promos with Bianca Rhea, the best woman on the mic was Bianca. So that already invalidates that. And I'm not saying that she's a bad mic worker. I think she is one of the top 10 in the women's division, but I don't think she's anywhere near the top 5. Ring work-wise, she's not the best in ring either. She's an elite seller. I should have put that there as well. Elite seller, top 5, stamped. Other things, though, no. She can't keep up with certain folks. She can't keep up with any of the Joshi wrestlers like Asuka, like Kairi, like Io. She can't slow down for anybody either because there are certain wrestlers that she should have slowed down for, like a Zoe Stark, like a, she wrestled, was that Indy Hartwell?
might have been Indy or something like that. She wrestled Indy, couldn't slow down for her. She wrestled Natalya, couldn't slow down for her, which is crazy. No, my bad. She couldn't adjust to Natalya. Because she can't do technical wrestling, so she couldn't adjust. She's a power wrestler that couldn't have some kind of adjustments. Mind you, she's not even a great power wrestler. She's not that strong. She's not. That's been very much so evidence that Raquel and Jade and Bianca are much better power wrestlers than even and Nia Jax as well. And heck, even Charlotte are all much better power wrestlers than Rhea. So you can't say that she's the best in ring. You can't say she's the best on mic, and you can't say she's the best character worker because the character. What's the character? If you think she's a better character worker than Naomi, you're actually crazy. If you think she's a better character worker than Nikki Cross, you're actually crazy. Let's look at the characters that Nikki has been able to portray. Nikki Cross, Nikki ASH, Nikki Cross, I guess, again, with the Wyatt Six and all that. This is all character work. Also, there's a little 5 foot of Fury woman named Alexa Bliss who's still walking around. So to think that Rhea's even better than Alexa is actually crazy in my opinion. Also, fun fact, Alexa Bliss's last title she won was at 26. Just a world title. Go ahead and keep that in mind. I want you just to keep that in mind, okay? Very, very interesting, by the way. Nothing to do with Rhea Ripley, by the way. Nothing to do with Rhea. We had a conversation about this last night on live. I thought that was crazy, but whatever. But yeah, no, Alexa Bliss is right there. Nia Jax is right there. Becky Lynch is also right there. Nikki Cross is right there. Like, there's plenty of other women who are better character workers. Okay, so she's not the best at any one of these. She's really, really good, though. I am not taking anything away from Rhea Ripley as far as her in-ring ability just because I don't two-hand glaze her the way y'all do. She is really, really good in all these areas. Top 15 in all these areas, in my opinion. But she's not the elite of the elite. I feel like she is in basketball terms, a much better Andre Iguodala. She's like Andre Iguodala where he's really, really good at all these things on the court. But he's not like elite in any area, maybe besides like defense, and that's it. And that's for her selling. She's a super elite seller. Honestly, if you want to give a great comparison, that I just thought about wrestling wise, she's Dolph Ziggler. She's literally Dolph Ziggler. Not great on the mic, not elite on the mic, not elite in ring, not elite with the character work, but an elite seller and a super over superstar. And her charisma, by the way, I'm sorry, just walking in the ring and just giving like a sexy smile and all that's not charismatic. It's the same thing with Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns actually does a bit more in the ring at least to show his charisma. Rhea doesn't do a lot of talking on stuff in the ring. Again, for those of y'all that are gonna try to say, blame the booker, Ash, blame the booker. She has a voice. Why do y'all think that this woman is not allowed to speak at all? Like, why do y'all think that she just can't speak up at all and say anything, but everybody else can? Mind you, Charlotte could, Becky could, Bianca could, Sasha could, Alexa could, Bayley could. Everybody else can speak up. But Rhea, come on, bro. We're not doing this like as if only Rhea cannot speak up. She's the biggest superstar in the company. Y'all keep telling me that. The biggest superstars in the company have a voice. So it's like, no, I don't hate Rhea Ripley. Again, just to make sure that's very much so clear. I don't hate Rhea. I don't know Rhea personally. I've seen interviews. She looks like a decent human being. I'm not going to say she's a good human being because I don't know the person. Y'all are too quick to just stamp anybody as a good human being, and then when you find out some crazy things, you're like, oh, damn, you know what? Or because like they do one or two good things, y'all are ready to call them a good human being. I'm not calling anybody a good human being until I actually know you personally. I say decent for anybody that I don't know personally. So she's a decent human being. That doesn't mean that she can't have any criticism. Y'all will criticize everybody else. Y'all last year were calling Sami Zayn Sammy Hogan. Y'all have been calling Becky Lynch Becky Hogan. Y'all have been calling Mercedes Hogan. Y'all have been calling Cody Hogan. You've called John Cena Hogan. You've called everybody else a Hogan, but we can't call Rhea Ripley a Hogan. No, she's a Hogan. She's a Hogan right now. We don't mean it in the literal terms. We're not saying that Rhea Ripley's racist. Although I will say this one thing, and I'm not saying she's racist, but I'm just saying she called out all the people who were making fun of Liv Morgan for getting injured, but she can't call out anybody using her name to be racist towards Naomi. Just saying. Anyways, gonna leave that one there. Gonna not even touch on that one any more than that. Rhea Ripley, though, she's becoming worse than Charlotte Flair. Because y'all call Charlotte Flair bad. Go back and actually watch her run. She put women over. Plenty of women over, especially after, like, After like 2016, that was like the last time she was like winning like a lot of world titles in 1 year. After that, she was putting a lot of women over. Like 2017 to like 2019, she was putting a whole lot of women over. One of the big ones, hint, hint, is referred to as the man. But, and the hugger. But, okay. Anyways, yeah, nah. I just think that, like, they gotta just chill with Rhea, man. You gotta chill with her, man. I understand this woman's a superstar. I understand this woman is one of the biggest draws in the company. I understand this woman is really, really, really damn good. I'm not taking anything from her at all. I think she's really, really good. I'm not gonna two-hand glaze her like some of y'all be doing, because that's just not what I gotta do, because I don't feel the need to do that. I'm gonna call it how I see it. But it's becoming a bit too much with this woman. She is becoming the exact same way that I said about Roman Reigns. That once Roman Reigns, like, was the big dog, it was awful. It was the worst time. This dude was always in the WrestleMania main event scenes. He was always getting the big world title shots. Even though there were times that he at least earned them, it was like, dude, you're every Mania main event. You're every freaking pay-per-view main event. Like, you're everywhere. You're everywhere. And it's just like, it becomes just a bit too much. And it's like, I really wish for Rhea Ripley, she does have a tribal chief down the line where she becomes this new character. I really wish they would have ran a program with her and Io Sky instead of being in that world title scene. I wish that they would do other things with her, because I don't dislike Rhea. I just don't want to see somebody shoved in my face 24/7. That's all it is. And I'm also going to be real with y'all. Y'all complained about Charlotte, but don't complain about Rhea. I think a lot of that might just be pretty privileged as well. And I'm not saying that Charlotte Flair is ugly by any means, but y'all were never like attracted to Charlotte Flair the way y'all are attracted to Rhea Ripley, where y'all will literally sexualize this woman 24/7. She'll post thirst traps, and y'all be all up in that comment section. Like, y'all are clearly very much so attracted to her. So y'all give pretty privilege to people, even though a lot of people go around saying that we don't want to give pretty privilege to people, but then you do it for Rhea Ripley. It doesn't really make any sense. Whatever, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. But y'all didn't want to give pretty privilege to Roman Reigns. Although I will, to be fair, that little goatee he had, he did not look pretty by any means. With the beard and all that stuff, much more prettier, man. But with the goatee, I'm not a fan of a goatee. Like, I don't know what y'all see in Jalen Hurts. No offense, Jalen Hurts, by the way, you my dog. Goatee, don't really do it. It's not a goatee. It's not connected, okay? Don't try to say it's a goatee. It's not connected. Okay, look, y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? Shut up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's go ahead and end things there, though, y'all. Like I said, I like Rhea. Thanks to a decent human being. I just wish that she would get, earn matches. Like, if she went to King of the Rings or Queen of the Rings and all this stuff, and like number one contenders and all that, wouldn't even be mad. Or she was forcing her way into these matches via just whooping people's asses and all that stuff. I would actually love that a lot more, man. Like, if she was going around just being a heel, whooping everybody's ass, that would be amazing, man. That would be awesome. And I think that would be 10 times better. But being a face, it just doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. It doesn't work for me at all when it comes to Rhea Ripley. But that's going to be for me, though, y'all. Definitely hope y'all did enjoy this long-ass episode once again. If you did, like, subscribe, notification bell for more links. Everything will be in the description below. Also, shout out to everyone of the Patreon subs. Big old kiss for your forehead. But that's going to be for me, though, y'all. I'm out. Have a great one, everybody. Peace.